Hey, what's going on, everybody? King Jerome, the Foodpreneur Coach. And on this video, I just want to talk to you guys about what to do if you are in a position where you're starting brand new, or maybe you just got up and moved to a whole new city, a new location, and you need to figure out how it is that you're going to get your business off the ground. So, without further ado, let's just dive right into this. Number one, and I think it's something that a lot of people will miss, is getting to know your market, kind of like doing a survey in a way, right? So before your business can even take off on anything, you need to make sure what you're offering is something that people actually want, right? So something that I've done is, and maybe you've even seen it if you've grabbed my free guide of how to get your 51st customers. At one of the things I recommend doing is getting like a survey, right? So if you move to a new city, the thing that you're used to cooking may or may not vibe with the people, right? So, for example, I'm in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and there are predominantly white people here. You do have a bunch of other cultures, but the predominant population is white. So, depending on the type of restaurant that you have, it may or may not work. What do white people love? They love tacos, right? And it's not bashing or anything, but it's what the market likes. So here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, you have like a Mexican restaurant at like every corner of every street, and all of them are successful. Now you compare that to barbecue places. We used to have a Famous Dave's, which is like I'm pretty sure a national chain that closed down, and there's currently only one barbecue place in the entire city that is still up and running. But that just goes to show you, because it's like the majority of the people may not prefer that type of food, but they do prefer a lot of Hispanic food, right? So getting to know what it is that your market likes or what they prefer, that's going to be a huge step up for you, because something that you want to avoid, and it's actually something I seen on an episode of Shark Tank one time, where some guy had some really cool like AI gadget, almost like a virtual, like a VR virtual type of system or gaming system, and they were all in it at first, but then they all pulled out. And the reason why they said, and this is before AI and VR stuff got really popular, the reason why they decided to pull out of that was because the amount of money it would take to even educate the people to even want that product to begin with, right? So that was part of the problem. So what I want you to be able to do is get a good gauge of what it is that's going to be successful where you live, and then go based off of that. If the only thing that you cook is that specific dish that you like to do, cool, go ahead and do it. You still might find success. But what I'm saying is, if you're starting from scratch, that is going to be like like a great thing for you to do, getting that done. Now, the second thing you want to do is identify, and we talked about that, right? Identify who is most likely to want your food. And once you identify that, is how to create a message for them. Because this is the thing that you're dealing with. No matter what kind of food that you're selling, how are you going to differentiate yourself from everybody else selling the same exact thing, right? For example, all these restaurants that I mentioned here before in Green Bay that are mostly Mexican foods, how do they differentiate themselves from the others? There probably isn't much that they got to do, because the majority of the people here love Mexican food. So it's one of those things where you don't try to go and create a brand new market, right? You want to be one where there's a whole bunch of people already consuming that, because there's no need for you to go try to test the waters to see if this is something that they like. You know that they're going to like it, because you already have so many businesses that are successful doing that thing already. But if you are trying to find a way to really stand out from the competition, you have to create what I like to call a irresistible offer. An irresistible offer is something that you are going to differentiate yourself completely from all your competition, right? So what can that be? It can be pricing, but undercutting prices and stuff, that's just a game that you're not going to win, right? Because the first one to the bottom, like you're just not, you're not getting anything out of it. Plus, you still got to account for food costs. You got to account for all the other expenses that you have in your business to even run that to begin with, right? So undercutting your own prices, that's not going to be viable. What you want to do, you want to offer stuff, bonuses that are going to increase the perceived value of your plate or of your food, of your offer, right? So for example, my mentors, they did the marketing with Crumble Cookie. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Crumble Cookie. And the way Crumble Cookie did it was how they grew so fast because they started collecting emails, right? And that's a whole nother thing I'll talk about in another video. But it's super important to just start collecting emails of everybody that interacts with your business. Because if they don't do business now or today, they might want to in a couple weeks, in a couple months, even in a couple years. So what Crumble Cookie did, they wanted to offer for new people who are signing up free cookies. They figured maybe let's do 12 cookies, for if you sign up for free. Cool, that sounds great. But what they ended up doing with the marketing team, which, like I said before, are my mentors, what instead they decided to do is reframe it in a different way. So how they decided to reframe it was you still get your free 12 cookies, but they said it free cookies for a year. Most people be like, oh, wow, that's 365 days a year. Free cookies every single day from that. That's awesome. So that's part of creating that irresistible offer, right? Is how you can do that. So something I like to do, and I like to tell a lot of my coaching clients and a lot of you guys too, if you're looking for ideas on what you can offer to separate yourself from the pack, what you can do is offer them the next problem they're going to need solved, right? So what happens a lot of times? Your offer or whatever it is that you offer, and this is with any business, it's going to create a new problem, right? So when that new problem is created, then you offer them something for that. For example, with this one, to keep it super simple, you offer them food. What's going to be the next thing they're going to want? Maybe they have a sweet tooth and they're going to want something sweet. You offer them a dessert. Now, after the dessert and the main meal, now maybe they're thirsty. Now you offer them a drink. And now after that, they really enjoy the food and they want to tell their friends and family about it. You offer them an incentive for referring people over to your business. And all of this stuff is included into your offer, right? So onto that same offer, same price, you can be super creative, whether it's like if you offer a kind of plate where you have one meat or double protein or something like that, you can offer it whether you do it for free or whether you do it at 50% off along with the purchase of a regular plate only for new customers, and for every new person that they refer, they get a free protein or something like that. That's just an example, a really rough example, but that is certain ways that you can use the creativity that you can put in for offers in order to increase the perceived value. So that's pretty much it for this video. So I hope this was enjoyable for you. I hope you got a lot from it. As a matter of fact, that guide I talked to you about early in the beginning of the video, you can grab that in the description below. If not, irresistible offers, irresistiblefoodoffer.com. You can grab that that guide for your 51st customers. And if you already have 50 customers, you can get you another 50 just like that. So until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.